Yeah, podcast. That's right. Euro Wednesday. Check this out. I created a podcast to give folks a platform to be an inspiration to another inspiration, and then be able to create a motivational engine for viewers like you. Without further ado, I got my man Jeff Camaillo on here tonight. Hey, look, this guy gave me his time. One of the busiest men I know. You know what I mean? And so, without further ado, I gotta give credit and homage where homage is due. I'm happy to see you. I'm happy to see you, dog. And man, you know this ain't stage, man. This is what we do, man. It's authentic conversation. So
all day, man.
Yes, man. How you living? How you winning, bro?
Oh, Mr. Yao, it's good to be in the mix with you, Mr. Yao. I see you. I like what you're doing, man. Year of wins coming out the pandemic, huh? Just racking up wins.
Man, absolutely, man. It's been crazy. You know how this year has been, man. This past year has been hoping for new things, more wins. And even more insightful interviews that I believe I'm gonna have with you, just like I just had with a couple other people that you know, one that's dear to your life, you know, your brother and whatnot. But we here to talk about you, man, because you're doing some amazing things yourself. And since I've known you, you know, damn, man, that's crazy. I've known you for so long. It's been an honor to be able to get to come up under you and be able to see all the amazing things that I've seen you do and have heard you do, you know, and that you're still doing. So
yeah, I appreciate it, little bro.
No, it's all good, man. I think one of the things that I really wanted to emphasize, and not to take, you know, any kind of airtime, but more so talk about the different types of things you've been doing with families and children and youth, community, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hispanic, you know, Black, minorities, etc. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Amazing, bro.
Man, I appreciate it, brother. And it's been an amazing last 7 years. These last 7 years, I've been able to give birth to 2 new high schools, man. We gave birth to Oakland's newest high school in the middle of the pandemic. Lodestar High just opened its doors this year, 2020, 2021 inaugural year. Beautiful, beautiful community, man. Launched this incredible community on top of a K-8 community, so kindergarten through 8th grade community, and then we built up just a beautiful 2-story building, deep East Oakland, man, 105th and Eads, in between Sobrani Park and Brookfield Village. This is a Lighthouse Community Public School, and you know, the beautiful thing is, man, this is my second high school that I've had the privilege of being the founder principal of in the last 7 years. You know, I think with this one, I'm taking everything that I learned from the Luis Valdez Leadership Academy, which was the first high school that I had the privilege of founding in East San Jose. That was a college prep, culturally vibrant college prep charter high school that predominantly served first generation Latinx students and families. Built that up with an incredible team of BIPOC educators, gave it a 5-year run, graduated the first 2 classes. Both of the classes saw over 80% of the youngins admitted to 4-year colleges and universities. You know, got the first ever Ivy League admission in the 20-year history of that charter organization. And just really, man, built a vibrant institution, you know, that was a reflection of the community that we serve there in East San Jose. You know, 95% of our faculty were Latinx. I was the only Latinx educator in our building who was not a first generation American, first generation college student. So the vast majority of our community was, you know, a true reflection of the community that we serve, man. And as a result of that, what we were able to build was just something incredible. You know, I mean, so many things I could talk about, man. I don't know where you want me to dive in, but I think that, you've had a lot of, you know, athletes, former athletes, you know, other heroes in the space. But let's be honest, man, this last year, man, educators are true heroes. You know what I mean? And I appreciate the love, man, because principals, teachers, man, we came out of a year, bro, still in it, you know. But I mean, next Friday will be a full year now that we've been in distance learning, brother. Everything online, you know, March 13th. I'll never forget it. So I can't believe we already a year in and we found a way to do it, man. Like, we found a way to pivot, go 100% online. You know, it's been rough out here in Deep East Oakland, man. Our families are hurting. You know, it's going to be a lot of, once we get through this, there's going to be a need for a lot of healing in our educational spaces, man, because nobody has ever endured anything like what we've been through the last year. That's for sure.
Jeff, you speaking on some real stuff, man. I had experience working with families and children, even in Oakland and in San Jose,
Mm-hmm.
ironically. I understand the socioeconomic issues at hand. I understand, even in Oakland, how hard it is with the families and whatnot. But now with this COVID and this pandemic hitting the way that it did, it turned a lot of people for a loop, right? But that predominant community right there where you are in the heart and soul, kind of where Oakland is, man. You are doing something super special, man, and that's not even to try to put it on thick. It's true. Me working in the streets with the probation and the youth and the families, man. For to hear you say that the families are hurting and they're going what they're going through, but to also come back to talk about how you're saying educators are the heroes. I'm gonna keep it real with you. That's what this podcast is about, any and everyone. It just so happens that I happen to know some folks that are playing sports and stuff, right? But because I have somebody like you on here who is an educator, somebody that also, I'm gonna keep it 100. You're brilliant. You also street savvy. You also
Appreciate it, brother.
got the swag. But you, man, it's true though, man. For you to be able to come
It's
out
all
here
love.
and talk about the importance of what educators are doing in this time. It's so big, bro. It's big. It's my son is struggling. And bro,
it's rough.
To start a charter school during this time.
Yeah, it's rough.
God.
It's rough, man. Yeah, look, it's been 20 years in the game this year, man. 20 years in this education game, really longer than that if you count the years when I was in college in Philadelphia, man, where I found my passion at the age of 19 in Southwest Philly. I mean, I'll never forget it. Southwest Philly, I credit them for helping me fall in love with teaching and young people. But, from the gate when I came in here, man, I want to be different. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be that dude, that teacher that kids looked at and were like, I want to be like him. He's educated. He went to college, but he's cool. You know what I mean? I mean, 2001, I was pulling up, man, at the middle school in an expedition with 22s on it, slapping, hopping out, teaching history lessons and jumping back in and acting a fool all night. You know what I mean? But I mean, like, to be honest, man, my kids, my kids from back then, I mean, they grown now, man, 30 years old, 31, 32 years old. These were 14-year-olds when I started my career. And, 2001, I was a tender 22, and now they grown up, man. They got more kids than I do. Some of them, some of them are my dear close friends. I mean, you were with me at my 40th birthday party, man. I had several of them there with me, and it's really just about, man, relationships are at the center of the work. If you can't do any of this work. I don't care what community you in, Compton, East San Jose, East Palo Alto, where you from, Rand, East Oakland, where I'm blessed to be now. If you can't cultivate first and foremost relationships that are built on trust, built on love, built on, personalization, you can't do nothing in this education realm. And that's what I feel I've been blessed to do, man. I'm just a highly relational person. I pour a lot out into my work. I'm passionate. I show up every day. And every day is a new day, man, to try to inspire a young person. And no day is the same. That's the beauty of this profession, man. 20 years in, I haven't had one day like another one. Every kid is a unique kid. Every family is a unique family, has their own story. And that's just what keeps me going, man. I'm inspired by our families. I'm inspired by my young people and their dedication to their futures. My family, Rand, we had it pretty good. You know what I'm saying? So, I just look back, all I've ever really wanted to do is be able to kick the door open wider than it was open, when my pop stepped through it back in the late 60s, when he was one of 300 Mexican American kids that got a break, got a shot coming right out of civil rights movement, right out of affirmative action, from Compton, and found his way at UCLA and went on in his own life. I mean, Pops is truly my inspiration, man, but went on in his own life and founded a field of study, man. Founded Chicano history, really was one of the, if not one of the founding scholars of Mexican American history, and, wrote about our people and opened up doors for hundreds of scholars from underrepresented groups to study their own past and kind of reconfigure the narrative, man. And, all I've ever wanted to do, man, is just make him proud, open doors and help young people who grew up in a similar situation to him, man, have an opportunity to go to college and pursue their dreams and their goals. And I haven't looked back since. It's been a beautiful 20-year run. And I mean, Some days are hard, but the truth of the matter is, man, when you find something you love, like I do, I really don't even feel like I worked a day in my life, brother. Because every day I wake up, you know what I mean. I'm inspired by the young people and just love what I do. So, you know, it's about look, whether you Dave Harper and you got it cracking down at Sharpers, or you know Greg Camarillo and you fulfilled your dreams for 8 years, or you know any of these brothers you've been blessed to have on the Yow podcast. You gotta find what you love, you know, because if you find what you love, man, life is gonna be a fun ride.
One thing I will say too, Jeff, is like, I remember when I was a sophomore in high school and you were a senior, and I remember Greg was a freshman, and I remember I used to say, your brother, be like, man, your brother hecka cool, bro. He got swag. You know, I used to be like, man, this dude, man, like, and you didn't miss a beat. You was able to be cool and handle your business. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of people was trying to be cool. A lot of people wasn't being cool and handling their business at the same time. And last I checked, you was president of the school too. You know what I mean? And so what's great to be able to see around all that is like you give a lot of homage, you know, to your dad and, you know, obviously to your parents. You know, you're saying that you guys had a good. From my lens, I just saw a lot of balance. You know what I mean? I saw a lot of love. I saw a lot of your parents giving you guys the autonomy to be able to be yourselves. You know, and be able to, you know, basically spread your wings, man, and trust that whatever it is that they've imparted in you guys, that you're going to do right by their name. And, bruh, 20 years and the way that you're doing things, because the crazy thing is, man, when you said Luis Valdez, I looked that up, and I looked it up a couple of years ago because I was just like, okay, let me see what Jeff doing. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what's going on over there. And I'm like, dang, yo, like you was doing it. Like you hit some real pivotal moments in San Diego, bro. And I was just like, dang. And so when I put two and two together and you hit up in Oakland and you was working with a student or a couple students that I knew, I had no idea that was your school, right?
Yeah.
With all that being said, man, I think I want to have more understanding of what it with the way that you grew up, with your parents involved, you know, having that support and that brotherly love, etc. Going over to San Ho, coming to Oakland, like what's the goal, man? Because I see you playing it one in San Ho. You know what I'm saying? You playing it now too in Oakland because the K-8 now. You know, you said what's the other one name? I know it's Lighthouse, but then
this is Lodestar High School. Yep.
So you got K-8 now. You got Lodestar High School.
Yep.
What's the goal, man? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, look, you know, I was it's crazy you asked that because I was, you know, I kind of hit a pivotal moment coming out of Luis Valdez where I was contemplating whether the move was like moving on to maybe some bigger systems leadership, like trying to, you know, run a CMO, like run a charter management organization, or kind of take a step away from the young people directly, you know. And I looked at a few things, and ultimately I felt blessed, man, talking about the year wins. I mean, these last couple of years, this was a big win coming over here because basically I was able to, you know, stay at the site, stay at the school level, stay doing what I love, working with teachers, working with young people, while positioning myself to be, you know, in the financial bracket I hope to be, right? That was a big factor, obviously, with a stay-at-home wife, 2 kids, you know, just copped the house in Oakland. All of that, you know, was a key element to it. So, I think big picture, look, this is what I reflected on these last 7 years. Everybody kind of figures out like, what is your niche, you know, and what I found my niche to be in these last 7-8 years is being an institution builder, a creator, an architect of learning communities that will live on long beyond my time with them. Because LVLA is still thriving. I mean, they've had a whole new administration, you know, a lot of teachers that I started the school with have since moved on, but the school is there, you know, it's thriving, man. It's going to be an institution for years and years to come, I hope, in East San Jose. And I hope the same is true for Lodestar. You know, I've kind of thought about like, what is my legacy going to be? You know, I'm about to be 42 in 3 weeks. And, you know, I hope that when I'm like 65, 70 years old, I could drive around with my kids, hopefully some grandkids, and I could be like, look, there go LVLA. Like your granddad founded that school. You know, look, there go Lodestar High. Your granddad founded that school too. And who knows where I'll go after this, man. I don't know. I mean, I still have a lot of juice in the tank with the young people. I can tell you that. I'm not tired of that work, you know. And when I look at my boss and some of the politics at the charter, like kind of organization level or district level, look, I still got about 23 years left in me, if not more. So I got plenty of time to move in that direction, man. But right now it's like the kids give me inspiration. The young people are the ones that really drive my energy in this work and allow me to sustain this. So look, I'll just keep trying to build institutions, man. Right now the focus is building Lodestar High to be the best high school in Oakland, California, period, point blank. If I can do that, then I think, I'll be able to write my ticket in the next 3-4 years and figure out what my next move is going to be. But, at some point I would like to get into leading like a system of schools, leading a charter management organization, leading a district. I've always said that's what my goal was. And, I hope that's where, I can find myself in the next 5 or 10, but I'm in no rush, man. Truly, I love what I do every day. I think being a principal is the best job there is, because it's just enough of the adult shit. Because man, the adult shit is no fun. You know what I mean? Yeah, and if you move away from schools, like, and you purely in the adult realm, that's when the fun, the joy starts to slip away slightly. So I'm just enjoying all these moments, even though I'm on Zoom every day talking to kids like this now. I still enjoy it, and I just can't wait till we come out of this pandemic, man, and get back to work. And there's going to be a need for this is going to be a tough year ahead for young people coming off this 18-month hiatus from school. So I just feel blessed to be here and build these institutions and found schools, man. Two schools in the last 7 years. So grateful.
That's amazing, man. I just had this picture in my head of, these kids coming back and, being in person with school and whatnot, and I could just see you catching them all, like, just catching them, like, yeah, I got you. Hold on, I'm right here. I'm going to navigate you here, and help them have, solid foundation to fall on. Obviously nothing is perfect, but I feel like you're creating a blueprint for youth, but not just youth, but your staff to be able to support it for the students.
Let me tell you a little about the blueprint, because you and I went to a high school, that we know did not, systemically support the college dreams of Black and brown young people from an under-resourced community, right? We know that all too well. Yep. So let me tell you a little bit what I learned about the blueprint, right? The blueprint for creating transformative, culturally vibrant high schools in California urban communities. I think first and foremost, what I've learned in the last many years is that schools can just period, point blank, no longer continue in any way, shape, or form to be a reflection of the racist criminal justice system that has plagued, communities like East Oakland, East Palo Alto for decades now. And of course, what that looks like in schools, like, what's the most severe punishment that can be handed down in a school? You tell me.
Take away the sports.
Okay, well, you can get more severe than that. You can take away sports, and that's like a little, slap on the hand. Somebody gonna be upset, Right. But what's like the most severe thing that, a school can do to a young person to basically send a message like, you're not wanted here, you gonna go?
I mean, make it a private school. I mean, you gotta help me out, because I'm over here like, I ain't as educationally sound as you are, Mr.
It's all good. It's all good, brother. No, I like your guesses though, because I mean, taking away a football game from a young dude is like that's a huge punishment.
I mean, in the hood, it's big.
Right. So look. One of the things. I mean, I'm sure you've heard of the school to prison pipeline.
Yeah.
That concept, right? Yeah. So, decades of research on the school to prison pipeline have shown that disproportionately Black and brown students are suspended from schools. Disproportionately Black and brown students who get suspended from schools end up being expelled from schools.
Yep.
Highly disproportionately, students who get suspended and or expelled from a school are, more likely, very much so more likely. We're talking 4, 5, 6 times more likely to drop out of high school than their peers who don't go down a white-centric, form of school discipline, right? If you think about suspensions, man, expulsions, even things like referrals and just negative, like punitive school discipline, right? That's like that's a European construct. Like the whole idea of that form of school discipline is a white-centric construct, which no longer has place in schools that serve Black and brown young people and are in communities in service of Black and brown families. So what we've done is we've reversed that entire paradigm. We don't even use terminology anymore that supports punitive discipline. We don't even use the term consequence. We use the term, restorative response, kind of centered around our whole premise around restorative justice. But really what we've moved on is even beyond, this idea that you just eradicate punitive consequences. And what you do is you create a myriad of systems and responses that promote healing. If you think about kids who act out the most in school, whether they fight or they bring drugs to school, or, maybe they have a weapon or whatever it might be, right? These are young people who more than their peers are in dire need of healing. It boils down to healing, man, and there's a number of very progressive educational researchers who have written a lot about this topic, but it boils down to healing. And if you can create a community that centers Black and brown healing, especially Black healing, because in the times we're living in, man, there's so much trauma in communities associated with being Black, anti-Black racism, anti-Black violence being executed by servants of the government, police, others, right? The trauma that has unveiled itself in the last several years. I mean, granted, this is 400 years of cumulative trauma, but the way that has manifested in the most recent years, like any schools that serve Black children and Black families, you have to promote healing. And then you have to also reverse the paradigm when it comes to thinking about how you can reverse the impact of racism by really just lifting and centering Black greatness and Black excellence and Black and brown greatness and excellence at every step of the way. Every chance you get, you hire majority Black teachers and brown educators. You bring in powerful role models in your school to talk to young people about their journeys, because sadly, in pockets of Deep East Oakland, our young people just don't see powerful role models every day, right? That look like them, that have the opportunity to talk to them about their journeys. And once you have this foundation that's built on healing, built on justice, built on love and relational trust, you can simultaneously run a culturally sustaining, rigorous college preparatory environment that really exposes kids to deep levels of rigor, that truly ran like where at the high school we went to, Black and brown kids we know went to one track of school, right? While white and Asian kids from, West Menlo Park, Atherton, right? They had a deeply rigorous experience, They had a rigorous experience, and our school prepared them incredibly for every institution you could imagine, But what were we for Black and brown young people? We were a dropout factory. We were a suspension factory, a punitive discipline factory. And in fact, you beat the odds if you were somebody who went to a four-year university from East Palms or East Menlo Park. Period, point blank. And so the beautiful thing is, man, if you fast forward, like I graduated in 97, right? You graduated in 99. We here now about 23, 24, 25 years later. And now you have schools that, like Lodestar, like Luis Valdez, that their entire construct, their entire vision is basically taken, if you will, like if you, let's just say hypothetically that you took that group of young people and you created just an isolated institution that focused solely on their culture, solely on their language, solely on their identity, and focused solely on how do we build a program that serves their families and their needs. And that's what schools are doing now. I mean, that's the beauty of charters, man. They're able to kind of navigate in this lane where they have a little bit more autonomy, a little more opportunity to be flexible and respond to the needs of a community in a culturally sustaining way. And that's what I soaked up. So it's like create a foundation built on love, built on cultural vibrancy, built on anti-racism, eradicate white-centric discipline from schools, build relational trust, hire faculty that look like the young people that they're serving, right? And then you bring in rigorous curricula and you push kids to their college dreams and goals, and they will achieve. Let's keep it real. I mean, kids will rise to our young people will rise to whatever occasion, whatever bar you set for them.
Right.
You set the bar low, that's what they're going to do. Right. If you set the bar high, they're going to rise to that bar. So I've learned a lot, man. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it might even be, I might even think about, I've thought a lot about this actually in the last year or two, is kind of putting together that blueprint in a package and working with, different organizations that's building schools throughout the throughout the country, man, to bless them with the game that I've been able to pick up in the last 7 years, building institutions.
Yeah, man.
Because I have to be honest, like it's hard damn work, but I've actually been able to move through it 7 years, like rather effortlessly, and that's just because of the people I've been able to surround myself with, my network. Yeah, man. So just, a lot of blessings and a lot of learning over these last 7 years that has helped me understand the blueprint to creating culturally vibrant institutions for Black and brown students and families.
Jeff, I mean, you shared some amazing things. And I think one of the many things that stood out to me is, just for you to be able to not subscribe, well, charter schools not having to subscribe to regular school districts, et cetera, and what they require, right, for their staff and for the students that go there. And it gives you like this, again, for you to be able to spread your wings and do the things that you want to do, that you believe in, what you've learned that works for those students, right? And even the staff, right? So I can say for myself, being at MA, the only person I could kind of attach myself to is Mr. Guest. You know what I mean? Because Mr. Guest was a Black man. He was educated, he dressed in a suit, you know what I'm saying, from the old school. Didn't really know what his life was like outside of that, but I knew he cared about me. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I think that's what held me on going to school, because I was homeless. I was living at your house. I was living at Jackie's house. You know what I'm saying? And so to hear you speak about the healing piece, because there's so much trauma in Black and brown communities that a lot of people kind of brush it under the rug. Nobody wants to put a rug under and say, hey, let's talk about that and let's support. Right. Restorative support, like you said, restorative response, right?
Yep.
Because I did restorative justice. I worked with, mental health and the juvenile probation.
Yep.
And that's the kids, I see the K-8, right, that you was working with at Lighthouse, right? And not having a lighthouse and then seeing them go to like Castlemont or Skyline, not knocking the OUSD.
Exactly. Right.
When they go there, what happens?
Right.
They get a person like me. Hey, man, come on, let me get you back on track. Let me help you such and such, because you don't want to go back to the hall.
Right.
You're creating a different narrative, bro.
Right. Yeah, man. And that's why I'm proud of you, man. If you think about it, look, so this is the Year Wins podcast. We're talking about wins. Right. And your wins, I mean, think about it, man. You had to confront and deal with a lot of trauma in your life, man, to accumulate the wins you have. Yeah. I'm so proud of you, man. If you think about it though, Rand, that's healing. You know what I'm saying? You came to grips with a lot of things and went through your own healing process to accumulate and rack up these wins, and that's every Black or brown person has to do that in some regard. Now, granted, some people have had a lot less trauma than others, but let's keep it real. These last 4 years messing with this clown in DC, it's been traumatic.
Oh, God.
It's been trauma. I mean, we've all endured trauma, whether it was looking at brown kids in cages, whether it's watching black men continuously be murdered on television in front of our eyes. This shit is traumatic. You know what I'm saying? And when trauma comes about in that form, and if you had trauma from your own upbringing, it's just, healing, man. Healing has a lot. There's a lot of power in healing, and you got to be able to, come to grips with your own trauma, your own past, find the healing to get that balance in your life to rack up them wins. Because once you get that, man, it's nothing that can hold you back, So just creating that for these young people so they can get on these wins, because there's wins out there for them. Let's keep it real. Look, my homeboy Rashad Williams. Yeah. You need to get Shadi on the podcast next.
Yeah, you gotta tap in.
You need to get Shadi on the podcast.
You gotta get with you, man.
Shadi is one of the top Black executives at Adidas.
Stop it.
Overseeing, global director of basketball.
Are you serious?
Yeah, oh yeah, he right there. Oh man, he right there with with Harden and Dame Lillard and
That's crazy.
Oh no, Shadi is. So we was talking the other day, man, and Shadi was like, "Look, if you step out into society right now, Black or brown and educated, and have a vision for what you want to accomplish in terms of equity and justice, the door is way wide open, bro. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like right now, like companies like Adidas, Nike, you name it, Amazon, Google, all of these companies, all they want to do is, I shouldn't say all they want to do, because of course they have a corporate agenda, but they are looking to try to further position themselves to be, the the voice of this generation. And this generation is the Black Lives Matter generation. This is a generation that, you know, it's like they want to further the Black cause, bro.
Right.
And there's not enough people to even step into these roles, Black and brown young people coming out of college. Like, it's wide open, Rand. The door is wide open for young people to win, bro. Like, the companies are just listening. If you got a vision of something that can promote equity, Black justice, companies want to hear it.
Right.
They want to hear it. Schools want to hear it. Companies want to hear it. Even the government finally want to hear it, you know?
Finally. Hey. I mean, the crazy thing is, man, is it go to me. I think it goes back to where you have been winning so much with these youth already. You know what I mean? Like, you're giving them something, man, that, and definitely, let me get back to you. Let me get on that shot. You telling them you need to get on the podcast.
I will, for sure. We're going to get Shotty on the podcast.
When I think about the healing portion, the healing piece that you're speaking of, when all the stuff that's happened throughout this last year, this last 4 years, man, and seeing all that stuff that's happening on television, and these kids are glued to the television these days and social media and seeing so much, man, the healing piece, like you said, is so key, because some kids can't even go home to get healing. Some kids don't even know how to receive healing. You know what I mean? And because you have something like that in your school, let alone open up your arms and being able to open up your time for these kids and these parents, right? Because these parents also don't know how to support their kids with healing, because they don't even know how to heal themselves as well. You know what I mean? Or don't have a place to feel safe to go, to go speak about, you know, what it is that they're experiencing without feeling judged.
Exactly.
Or, you see what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I feel like one thing that you are breaking through the glass ceiling over and over and over and over again is you're doing stuff that a lot of people are scared to do. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm being real with you, man. Like, working in the system for so long, like I got 15 years under my belt in the mental health, working with families and children. When I hear you speak right now, it's not only hearing my boy, big bro, you know, speak to me like you're dealing with his kids, but hear you as an educator, somebody that I'm also inspired by. And bro, we're gonna keep it real. It ain't about gassing you up right now. You are who you are. You have been Jeff Camaillo. Bro, you've been the same way, if not elevated even more since I've known you, bro. And you're consistent. And so with me here, this is what I wanted this podcast for, bro. To have people who are inspiring, no fake shit. I ain't on that, bro. Like, I want people to come on here, be real, talk about some real stuff, not just about, just how you winning, but really, what has it taken for you to get to that point? What is it that you've been doing? What have you been like paying it? How you been paying it forward? How are other people able to win off of the way that you winning? And that's what I'm talking about. You're doing something that's so different than what I have seen in Oakland, bro. I'm telling you, because for me, my hands were tied. There's only so much I could do. So I was like, bump this. I'm about to go do what I know my intuition is telling me to do. Right. When I do what my intuition was telling me to do, man, come here, let me talk to you. Get in my car. We're going to go for a drive. Cry out. I'm going to cry with you.
Yeah.
What's going on? You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You see what I'm saying, bro?
I do.
Gosh.
Yeah. And that's real, man. I mean, you know, mental health is a huge part of that too. You know, like if young people have a strong man like you in front of them, telling them it's okay to talk to a counselor. You know, you're not weak if you have a therapist, or you're not weak if you shed a tear or whatever in this office or whatever. Let's cry together. Like, I mean, that's what's lacking, man, because everybody, you know, like there's this construct of like, you know, if you a cool Latino dude or Black dude or whatever, you got to be all tough. You can't cry never. You can't go talk to a therapist or whatever. Right. And that's, I mean, come on, we all know that's bullshit. So, you know, the beauty of it now is that's, you know, there's more and more mental health awareness coming out. We had my brother's former teammate. This is another dude I'll link you with. Actually, this would be a dope podcast with Devon Bess, you know, he's from the town, you know, grew up in East Oakland and, you know, got locked up as a high school kid, was at a juvenile camp, came out, football helped kind of get him on the right track, you know, ended up at Hawaii, was all-time reception leader in Hawaii, went on to the league, you know, and then had 5 years and then kind of had like a mental health crisis, man. Ended his career, but now he's in a position. He came to Lodestar the other day, popped on Zoom and blessed my youngins with just talking to him about, look, you're not weak if you talk to a counselor. I wish I would have started talking to a counselor when I was your age. You know what I'm saying? I might not have melted down, 5 years in the league, and I might have still been balling, you know? So, and here he is, right? NFL, retired NFL vet, you know, tough as they come, right? Born and raised in the streets of East Oakland, telling my kids, talk to a counselor, seek support when you're in emotional need, you know? So mental health is a huge part of it, man. That's why I really appreciate the work you were doing. And just, I think that, I mean, I've been, you know, watching you and seeing you grow and put together the gal, you know, you got it going, man. I like what you're doing.
Yeah, man. I mean, I love, man, that you were speaking about the mental health piece. You're talking about that transformative support, talking about that trauma awareness, man. And I feel like this is, and that's not to negate away from all the other podcast interviews that I've had, because they were rich and they all were authentic and they all offered something for viewers to be able to see and hear and be able to grow from, win from, be inspired by. I think for me, because you bring a different type of topic to the podcast, man, it definitely hits home for me.
Yep.
Different level, because a lot of people don't know, you know, Buddy. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't know, you know what I'm saying, that I was homeless the way I was. And
yeah, man.
President homeless as hell too, right? Like,
yep.
You went, skipped a year, then it was me, then it was your brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were the, you know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. And what folks don't know is that your mom, I know we was talking about Pops, and Pops, historian, did that. Mom used to pull me to the side, sit me down because I was angry. I was mad as hell.
Yeah.
Your mom was one of my first counselors, bro. Your mom was comforting, loving. And let me make you a sandwich. But let's go to the backyard and sit down and have some lemonade or some water.
Right. Talk to you.
Talk to me.
Yeah,
and I'm telling you, those were the moments that for me, when I woke up from your house, hopped in the car with Greg and then Faye, and we get to school, we dap it up, we go our separate ways. It was based off of them conversations that I not only had with your dad, but that I had with your moms.
Yeah, man.
Moms, she set me in place to help me be focused. That's why a lot of people get mad at me, man. But why you was hanging with the white and the black and hanging with the white and Mexicans? Why you hanging with us? I'm like, bro, I'm hanging with everybody. I'm diversified, bro. And first off, I'm surviving. First off, don't get it twisted. Good. I got to be able to understand what is helping me right now. That's helping
Truly.
You know what I'm saying?
Truly,
moms,
yeah.
Moms, bro.
Moms. Oh, come on, man. Moms. I mean, 43 years social worker, you know. I mean, I got all my emotional intelligence from my mother, man. You know, and that's really what, you know what I'm saying, that's been a huge driving force in my life as an educator, as a father, as a husband. Emotional intelligence, man. My mother is one of the most emotionally intelligent women I've ever met, if not one of the most intelligent persons I've ever come across in my life, bro. She is a blessing. Oh man, she is a blessing. So look, you said this is a different podcast than your typical one. I know you got, you know, a lot of parents that's probably listening, you know, they're going through a tough time, right? The pandemic then tested us, you know, we got the kids in the house, they on Zoom, learning and getting on, going to school is now like, it's a bit more of a battle. You know, we see it, it's right in front of us. It's like, this is not the way kids really truly have been meant to learn. So I'll drop a couple words of wisdom, a couple bits of advice, man, for our parents out there. Look, number one, you gotta take care of yourself. You gotta take care of yourself. Audre Lorde says self-care is warfare. You know, and that you can't do anything right now for your young people. You can't support them with distance learning. You can't, you know, keep your home happy and full of love if you're not finding ways to care for yourself, right? We can't go out to the bar. We can't go out and step out and do a little party night. I mean, we just got date nights back. I mean, it's been like 5 months. I don't even go on a date with my wife. So, you know, find something that's going to help you sustain yourself, take care of yourself, right? Whether that's, you know, exercise, jogging, you know, whatever it is, tapping in with the Netflix if you need to at the night. I mean, whatever it is that you find self-care, you got to do it. And then here's the other thing I'll say is that whatever it is with your young people with this distance learning, number one, we almost through, you know, we probably got, my guess would be by the fall, like everybody will be back in school of some type, at least a few days a week. I don't think they're going to have 100% distance learning anywhere in the Bay Area in the fall. I know it's coming down, but in these last few months, like, do whatever you can to support your young people and making learning fun. If you try to get into a battle, like, it's going to make them not like school. It's going to make you frustrated. And I've been guilty of this myself. So I'm not saying this, you know, as if I'm perfect, because I've had many battles with my 6-year-old about kindergarten and getting on Zoom and all that. But what you got to try to find is a balance to whereas you could talk to them and help them understand what's going on, but also Like if the Zoom is not working, shut the Zoom down and jump on something with your child and have fun while they learn. You being the teacher, you know?
Right.
Because if you battling, you're not gonna get nothing. You're not gonna get nothing going right now. I can promise you that. So those would be probably my two words of advice: patience, self-care. You know, don't get frustrated. As easy as it is to get hella frustrated in the current context we're all operating within, and when the Zoom isn't working for your child, like shut the Zoom down and you teach, sit with them, listen to them, read with them. You know, understand what they're doing and try to find a way to connect it to their interests. That's where you'll get your most leverage, I think, in the last couple of months of distance learning. But my hat's off to all the parents out there that's made it through this year, like this last year. Literally, you know, ran next Friday, it'll be the full year, bro. You should run this podcast next Friday, I think. Because this will be the full year that we've been in distance learning, man. Who would have
All right, March 13th. That's what we talking about?
Yeah, I mean, it was March 13th, 2020. This what's this Friday? I think this Friday is the 12th, right?
The 12th?
Yeah, it'll be a full year, man.
I'll run it on the 12th.
Yeah, run it on the 12th. Cause I mean, it's been a hard year for educators, hard year for families. But we made it through. Like, who would have thought? If I would have told you a year and a half ago, yeah, we do Micah do school on Zoom the whole year, man. What would you say to me?
I'd be like, nah, bro. Nah. Yeah, right. I mean, my son is ran times 20, but with his father, you know what I mean? And confident, loves himself, super social. So this pandemic has really killed him off in regards to the social engagement, right?
Yeah.
So, I've been Mike could come with me to work. I'll be hanging out with him. You see us, we be playing around. So he don't miss a beat to some degree, but he's still, not saying it's perfect. He still has moments where he's just like, I want to be around kids, man. I want to, you know what I'm saying? Truly. So when I hear you talk about self-care as warfare, you know what I'm saying? When you talking about taking care of yourself, you know, as a parent, you not only teaching the parents and the viewers out there, you teaching me too. Because I'm over here saying, hey man, don't come out the room. I'm on the podcast right now. You know what I'm saying? Get on the PlayStation, you did your homework, you know what I'm saying? You good for tomorrow. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I need you to really focus right now. And then at the same time, like you said, man, making that learning fun, bro.
Yeah.
Like shutting the Zoom off and actually becoming the teacher that
I mean, if it's not working, you know what I'm saying? If it's not working,
if it's not working.
I mean, like on a bad day, you know, or if it's just not, you see it taking a toll that's not supportive of your child or you or your family. Like, granted, I know it's hard because
we're not giving parents an excuse to cut the Zoom off and say it's okay, don't go to school. No. Let's be real. We're talking about if it's too hard for them at this time and it's not really clicking for them that day, pull away and become their teacher and make it fun.
And even if it's not right there in that moment, like pull away, let them do what they love, play whatever for a minute. But then later on, when you get done with work, you got to step in and sit down for a minute. Otherwise, you know, we'll all risk, you know, I mean, there's going to be learning gaps regardless, but you can mitigate those learning gaps if you step in the evening, even if for 30 minutes, 20 minutes. I know you're tired. I know it's hard. You know, we got single parents out there. It's even more taxing on them. You know, all the love to single moms, especially that's out there doing it right now, man. Single dads too, but you know, single moms. I mean,
they got it hard right now, man.
My hat goes off to them, and my heart is with them. My heart is with them, and I see them. I see them for sure, holding it down for their families. But yeah, man, been a year, and I think you should run it on Friday. That sounds like a plan to me.
It's going on Friday, bro. We're going to promo for it. I'm at a promo here on like Wednesday and Thursday. He's gonna have you up there, you know what I'm saying? So I need you to send me a pic, you know what I'm saying? Pictures.
I will.
I'm gonna have Luis Valdez and I want Lone Star and I want Lighthouse to be a part of the promo so we can, you know what I'm saying? So people can understand like what's happening. Like they're in for a treat. I'm gonna gas it up so tough. Because of you are local. You are making such an amazing impact in communities around the Bay Area, bro. Like, because you went from San Ho all the way to Oakland, bro. You see what I'm saying? From Peninsula all the way to Oakland, my guy. So I'm over here in the East Bay right now with you.
Well, you know, before that, I was in your hometown at the East Palo Alto Academy. I did 4 years there.
Bam. That's right.
I did 4 years at EPA, man.
EPA, them days.
Yeah, 4 years at EPA. That's where I got my feet wet as a school leader, you know. Never forget those times.
Jadena, you and Jadena, y'all was out there. Jadena, when you doing?
Yep. That's where I met Jadena at the working with the Mural Music and Art Project with my boy Tef and Tunde.
Tunde.
And Jadena and the homegirl Milan were all in the nonprofit. Dog. I mean, the nonprofit was stacked. When you think about it, look, in one summer, we had the following individuals working on a summer project with like 30 EPA youth. You had Mexi and myself. You had Tef, who is, Tef is like, full product manager at Empire Records. He's Tef doing it. You had Tunde Sabomahim. Come on. Do I need to say more? No. You had Jadena. You had Milan. And you had the homie. I don't know if you know Dean. You had Remy. You had Remy too. Yeah, I mean, you had Remy. You had Demi. You had the homie Demi, who, Demi is like writing this. I don't know if you know Demetric Sanders. That's Remy homeboy, Tunde homie. But he writing an app right now called Ambition. It's it's basically like an app that you could access. It has a full curricula, like a full like goal, like it's basically like a youth development program geared towards urban youth with kind of like a hip hop flair. He got angel funded and everything for it. It's called Ambition. So I'm working with him right now, writing some curriculum for his little app, which he's a coder. But I'm just everybody I named for you was in a 30 kid nonprofit program at EPA, working with EPA youth.
I mean, and now are all doing great things at the same time.
Yeah, and the kids that we worked with are now out there winning. Right. Racking up their wins.
Racking their wins up and paying it forward though.
Racking up their wins. One of them is the little homegirl Imelda.
I met Imelda.
You met Imelda. So Imelda, born and raised in EPA, right? Imelda is a first generation American. Her parents are immigrants to this country. First generation college student, went to Syracuse, founded a Latina sorority at Syracuse, came back, was working in San Jose. And now, I have the privilege of working with her every day. She's our founding office manager, running the whole office, doing it. She's like a key member of my leadership team, but she's a beast though. Like Imelda is, she's personable, bro. Brilliant as hell. You know what I'm saying? Passionate. Just brings it she's just an up and coming leader. And this was a young person who was in the youth program with Jadena, Tunde, Tef, right? And what she says is, I just took little bits and pieces of y'all and put it into this savage young lady that I am now. And she's a beast though, but she ain't the only one. I mean, there's other kids out there, 25-year-olds right now, little 25-year-old youngers out there winning, came out of MAP, So that's the thing, man. The longer you stay in this game, the longer you just see it paying forward, because you're the young people that you put into the seeds that you planted, they fully blossom, and then they go and plant more seeds. It never stops. It never stops. You know what I mean? And that's why, and that's the beauty. I mean, that's the beauty of this shit, man. It's unbelievable to see your young people grow up. I got another student who a young lady by the name of Imani Gully, who grew up in East Palo Alto, went to East Palo Alto Academy, first in her family to go to college at Chico State, she works at Lodestar, after school coordinator, doing some positive work with our young people with special needs, after school, paying it forward. So I'm blessed to have this year, Rand, I had 3 different students of mine that I had worked with at one point or another in my career, working at my school, paying it forward for the youth. One day I would love to just, let me tell you here's what you really need to do if you want to set the shit off and go in a whole different direction. Look,
come on,
it's about starting a private school, bro.
Wow.
If you want to be free from all the shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at what's his name over there, right? In your hometown, who been doing it, Chris Bischoff.
Oh, yeah.
He went private with it. So he's just free from all the bullshit, free from all the politics, free from all the and you could just get money, and get corporate backing and give kids scholarships and pay for them to go to college and pay teachers what you want to pay them. And, it's really about moving away from the public system, because the public system at the end of the day is flawed. I don't care what you do. Like I'm doing all this work at my school, Rand, trying to get it where I need to be, right? And we going through charter renewal with OUSD, and all they really care about is test scores. That's it, you know, and we're going to do the work. Like we're going to do the work. We're going to raise the rigor bar. We're going to try to get these test scores. You know, we'll play the game or whatever, the chess and checkers. But I'd rather not play that game, to be truthful. I would rather just build an institution and just run the vision free from structural and systemic racism and all the bullshit, bro. Like that's the thing. We could do that too. We know enough people. Like, look, in 10 years, we will for sure know enough people with enough wealth that we could just pull shit together and just start a school. Like literally start a school, private school, you know, tuition free. We raise the money for tuition, right? Yeah. So kids don't have to pay. I mean, we probably have kids with money wanting to pay because the school be so lit.
Right, be so dope, yeah.
Wanting to come in and pay, you know? But I mean, that's the choice we can make it now.
But there ain't no school, from what I know, is there's no school like that right now.
I mean, East Side is a unique model, what they're doing, but you're right. You're right. Not like what we would have cracking.
Yeah.
No, you're 100%.
Because hats off to Chris. He did something that East Palo Alto needed to the core and saved a lot of lives. Like
remarkable work. Oh, he is a mentor and a leader. I mean, when I meet with him and I get the chance
to basketball coach, bro. Like he was a Stanford assist, like you was just a volunteer, bro, and you just turned something into, like, kids are gonna always remember who you are, bro. Like,
I mean, you remember the Menlo Oak squad he has? They were dusting everybody like 92-8,
bro. Killing. And he was smart. Dude knew how to coach.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he did. He did. He had squad too, but then then he just didn't want him to go off to the Woodside or MA and just start a little school in a trailer, and then hit his timing was right. He got it cracking right when the internet hit and money was flooding through, and he just, everybody wanted to support a cause in East Palo Alto. So, I mean, but my hats go off to him. He definitely built an institution. I mean, that's a brother right there who built an institution. And,
but it's different when you got people of color.
Ours would be a little different, bro. Look, so Eastside recruits just the top students from the whole Bay Area, right? You got to have like damn near straight A's, if not close to it, right? And I'm not talking about that, bro. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about we go after the most vulnerable,
at risk.
We embrace the most vulnerable, and then we get the same type of results, which is possible.
It is.
It's possible.
You talk about, again, you bring back to the core, the healing. These are things, those things that help kids actually thrive, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean, like when they know they got somebody that care.
Yeah. So that might be the move, bro. Like legit, like private school. Man, come on.
You think I'm playing? Like,
I'm not playing. No, I'm saying no. Like the vision is okay. So look, the best example I could give to you is my man up in Harlem, with the children's zone. Like that's a private, everything about that institution. And, he did it his way, full wraparound, but he don't have nobody all in his mix. He got the medical, the mental health, the full thing, got the school, it's a whole community institution. And if you brought together the right people and you had the right vision and you were able to, I mean, it's really, at the end of the day, it's all about the funding for it. If you can get the funding for it, and then you can see what people can see what you could produce, you can sustain it. So that might be it. That might be it, man. That might be it. I don't know. We'll see. But regardless of what it is, man, I feel blessed to have 20 years in it and impacted so many lives, man. And just, at the end of the day, truthfully, like, look, tomorrow isn't promised.
Yeah.
If tomorrow wasn't here for me, I guarantee you there would be hundreds and hundreds at my funeral, bro.
Oh, for sure.
Like he had an impact on my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's all you could ask for, man. Really, truly, at the end of the day. And the best part about it now, and I'll leave you with this is, my son, goes to my school. Now, granted, he's in kinder, and I'm not the kindergarten principal. We have an elementary school, a lower school leader, and I lead the middle school and I lead the high school. But we sitting here in the same Zoom, same school. He sees what I'm doing. He understands, like, he already understands what is social justice, what is community and love, and what do these core values mean in a school, right? And he sees what I'm doing. And he understands now, like, what actually the leader that his dad is. And I can't even tell you like what that means to me. I mean, there's nothing in the world, you know what I mean? Like it's just it's an amazing thing to be able to be a leader of a school. Your son go to the school, he see what you're doing, you know. That's like, man, to be honest, like when my pops talk to me about that, like that's the thing in the world that just you can't even put a price tag on that, bro.
I mean, man, I love
Literally.
the fact that you have your wife, you got your boys, man. You do your runs in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Taking care of yourself.
I need to do them a little bit more than I need to, but yeah, man, nah, we blessed, man. We blessed, brother. Yeah, it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing. So I love the Yao shit. Keep it going, man. I like it. I like it. You know, I even seen the evolution in the past year. And I like the podcast vision. I see you got your followers going.
Yeah, man.
Got the hats, got the shirts. You know, I just need a shirt now. Is the only thing I need.
Yo, I'm looking for funding, bro. Don't get it twisted. I'm a young entrepreneur. I started this podcast because it wasn't about like monetizing it. I just the brand happened because I was like, you know, let me just become an entrepreneur during the COVID pandemic.
Yeah.
LLC'd up now, and they're like, oh, get this loan or get this. I'm like, man, I'm not trying to owe nobody no money right now. Like, I'm like, investors want to come, I'm like, hey, invest from your heart. Like, don't be looking for no return on your income right away. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna come back, but just know we got a good thing going here, man. So
just
I'm
keep building it, man. Year wins.
Bro.
Year wins. I love it, man. And then we gotta link up soon, brother. It's good to see you. You know what I'm saying? I miss you. Last time I seen you was at my 40th birthday. Then 2 years ago.
And that was lit. Hey, look, listen. I was like, is this really happening right now? Like,
I'm thinking like, damn, what are we gonna do when I turn 50? Because we're gonna have to do something.
Yeah, I have to be out of the country.
Oh, it's gotta be out of the country, yacht, something Absolutely. Silly. Everybody with their partner, you know. Kids gonna be grown at that point. You know what I'm saying? How Micah be like what, 18?
Oh my God.
How old is Micah right now?
He's about to be 12 in 3 weeks.
Oh yeah, so he'll be 19, 18, 20, home from college. He'll be there.
He'll be at the for real. Probably.
Oh yeah, he'll be with it. Jax will be 16. He'll be with it. You know what I'm saying?
It'll be great. Yeah, man. Hey, but look though, I really appreciate you coming on, man. Give me a chance to admonish you and just tell you I appreciate you.
Much love, man.
I'm grateful that you gave me a
much love, brother.
And all that, man.
Much love.
But listen, we're gonna wrap this up. But I'm looking forward to the next episode when we're back on this again, talking about the great things that's happening when the kids are in the school. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm looking forward to actually coming in and being a support system to Lighthouse, like straight up Load Star.
Yeah, Load Star. So look at this. We building out this elective pathway in arts, media, and entertainment. And one of the things we're going to do is have probably like a sequence of elective classes, one of which is going to be like video production, editing, and then like podcasting. Have like the